Okay, fight review. Derek Chisora versus Oleksandr Usyk. First thing I like to say is congratulations to both these men. They showed excellent sportsmanship. I understand that everybody's not going to have this kind of rapport and relationship these two had, but I enjoyed it. It was not necessary for these two to go at each other. Instead, I respected how polite and cordial they were with each other. You know, especially since both of them being characters, they could have made it completely entertaining. But that's one of the first things that I want to say. Second thing, the performance of Oleksandr Usyk. This is what I'm going to say about Usyk. First of all, taking Derek Chisora as, I don't know, your second introduction to heavyweight, hats to that. Because War is not an easy guy. So the fact that you handled that and that being one of the first things on your plate, congratulations. A lot of people wouldn't have done that. On his performance, Derek Chisora said that Oleksandr Usyk ran all night and he wanted a more entertaining fight. I will agree, even though I'm reluctant. I don't like the running part. I don't think if you're being evasive and doing the sweet science, hit and not getting hit, that's the part that I hate. Just because somebody has the ability to move and not be in the way of getting hit doesn't always mean that they're running. But nonetheless, this is boxing, and they've been calling attributes like that running for a long time. So I'm not finna change as far as a casual standard. But you know, for those that know the game, we know what it is, all right? And I'm going to say with Oleksandr Usyk's performance, it wasn't the performance that I think he needed at heavyweight. It wasn't quite the statement that he made. What I see about Oleksandr Usyk, good boxer, but two things. If you're not going to develop more power in your hands, he needs to, number one, desperately, he needs to learn how to move his head offline. Oleksandr Usyk has a terrible habit of that. He's a good fighter, pretty decent punch selection, but Oleksandr Usyk has zero head movement. Zero. He is very easy to hit. And it's not like he gets hit strictly because he doesn't care, you know? And he could tighten up that defense. He's just not used to it. The problem is this. You can't get away with that kind of attribute in the heavyweight division, which led me to my conclusion of when I seen Oleksandr Usyk fighting Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua will knock Oleksandr Usyk out cold in 6 rounds. I'm telling you what I know. He will knock that boy out cold in 6 rounds. Oleksandr Usman, what's wrong with me? Oleksandr Usyk needs to develop some more power. He needs to work on getting his head offline, because as of right now, he doesn't have enough stank on them punches for anybody to respect, and his head movement isn't good enough to try to get away with the style that he's trying to pull over on these people. I don't know if the way he's boxing, I don't know if that'll sustain at the heavyweight level. So, although I give him credit for doing it, I wasn't impressed. I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't impressed. And I like Usyk as a person. You know what I'm saying? I think the guy's hilarious. You know? But I wasn't impressed, and he needed a better performance than that. But one thing's for sure, he should have no problem getting no fights at heavyweight with a performance like that. Now, keep in mind, had Derek Chisora had the gas tank, Usyk would have lost. That's right, Usyk would have lost. And it leads me, ultimately, I'm going to have to go back to training. Now, as you know, Anatoly is Oleksandr Usyk's trainer. The same stuff that I pointed out about Lomachenko, especially with that lack of defense and head movement, it's the same thing that I'm going to say about him. Oleksandr Usyk can be a better fighter. He needs more advanced training than what he's getting from Anatoly. He got the talent. He got all the chops. Somebody just need to show him. That's all it is. Somebody just need to show him. You know, I would love to slap a crunk style on Oleksandr Usyk and see where he ends up. Matter of fact, a crunk style trainer would be ideal for this guy. You know, it would be ideal. He would take to that style like a fish to water, you know, and they'll definitely put some more stank on them punches and already fine-tuning that jab. But, you know, these guys are not going to make these kind of adjustments because, you know, loyalty or whatever and whatnot. That's one of the things I praise Tyson Fury for, is being able to know when to change up your team and not being so dramatic about it and say, oh, if I train with somebody else, I'm abandoning you as a friend and a confidant and all that other shit. You know, that's not what it means, you know. But he needed a better performance for me to really, you know, stamp Usyk. I had my eye on him for a while, and people asked me, why did I put Teofimo Lopez over Oleksandr Usyk? And I told him it's simply because it's easier to become undisputed in cruiserweight than it is at Teofimo Lopez weight division. The cruiserweight has never been a stacked division. It's never been a difficult division to actually become undisputed. Not to take nothing away from the cruiserweight division, it's just never been a stellar division. And it's relatively more easy to become undisputed in cruiserweight than it is at Teofimo Lopez's weight class. So it's more impressive for me at that weight class to become undisputed than cruiserweight, because cruiserweight has always been like an open division, you know. But nonetheless, I like the fight. I wish Oleksandr Usyk would have engaged more. That's not exactly the fight that I thought I was going to see, but it's a chance for him to reevaluate and go back to the drawing board and make some improvements. If his team know how to work on his weaknesses, I think he needs to take that upon himself to do, because Anatoly, he may have been good for the amateurs and stuff like that, but especially seeing the game plan that he put against Lopez and the gaps and the holes that I've always seen in Vasily Lomachenko's game, which I can also see in Usyk's game. Anatoly, he might have just outgrown Anatoly. You know, you need to get some different training in there, man. I like, you know, I'll always say that, you know. But that's my review on the fight. Not bad, but not quite the performance I feel Usyk needed to make the kind of statement at heavyweight. But anyways, that's just my thoughts. Bruce Van, I'm out.